Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today we are doing our makeup for an event this evening and it's only 11 a.m. So ideally I don't do my makeup this early in the day, but I have a really jam-packed day and I will not have time to redo it. So for that reason, I'm gonna be sharing some tips and tricks on how to keep your makeup on all day long. I'm using a bunch of new products that I picked up from Sephora recently, just to run through them real quickly. I've got the new Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Foundation. I've got the Danessa Myricks Yummy Serum Skin Tint. I've got some Huda Beauty powder, Easy Baking Powder. I've got a new NARS brightener, a new brow pencil that I've been using and loving. I am really excited about this brow pencil. It's just a brow pencil, but I'm super excited about it. And yeah, just doing our makeup. I also got the Glossier Boy Brow. This was a product I used many years ago and just repurchased it from Sephora. So let's go ahead and get started. I do want to thank Sephora for partnering with me on this video. I always love working with Sephora and it's such an honor to get to work with them each month. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let me start by priming my skin. We're gonna use the Dior Backstage Primer. This is a really nice primer. It actually plumps up the skin. So it's great if you have a lot of texture to the skin, fine lines or wrinkles to kind of help plump the skin. And it's got a really great consistency. It just kind of grips onto your makeup. I like to apply it under the eyes as well, because if there's any area on the face that I have some texture, it is underneath the eyes, little fine lines, smile lines. Those just kind of help give a smooth appearance. I start in the center and then I work my way out. Next, we're gonna go in with the Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint, and I picked up two shades. I picked up shade 4 and 5. I've been playing with 4, I couldn't find it, so I grabbed 5. I have not yet tried this color. This is obviously the deeper of the two. This is a very weightless formula, and at first when I got this, I didn't know much about it. I was thinking it was gonna kind of work like a foundation, but it's very sheer. It actually is a hydrator. It hydrates, smooths, and corrects the skin. So it really just kind of evens out the skin a bit. Doesn't necessarily offer a lot of coverage, but it's kind of great as almost a bit of a sheer moisturizer. You can apply it before foundation, and I just like to use my fingers. And because this product is on the more sheer side, you can really get away with using, probably a few colors. It's not really pigmented or very heavily pigmented, so there's a lot of flexibility. And another benefit of using a product like this before foundation is it allows you to use less foundation, so you don't have to go in with a lot to get great coverage. I'm the shade 3C2 Toffee in the Laura Mercier, and I've actually been using this for a few weeks. This is a very weightless, lightweight foundation. That's a lot of words to basically say that it's lightweight. I really enjoy this. It has it kind of reminds me of like a serum foundation, just super blendable. I mean, you really just apply it and bounce your brush a few times and it's disappeared into the skin. I always like to start in the center of my face and then kind of work my way out. This gives a really nice kind of radiant look to the skin. I have enjoyed this foundation during summer because it is so light on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy at all. Now, I wouldn't really say that this is going to give you more of a matte finish, which is typically what I gravitate to in the summer, but because we're going to be playing with these new powders, I didn't want to go in with a foundation that was matte because I didn't want my skin to look too matte. So this is a nice balance. This foundation is really beautiful, very easy to work with. I would recommend this for all skin types, really, and all skin ages. I think it's really great for more mature skin or skin that has a lot of texture to it. When you have a lot of texture on the skin, what you really want to avoid is using products that are heavier in consistency, because that will really just magnify that texture. Maybe not when you first apply it. Maybe when you first apply it, it looks smooth and airbrushed, but throughout the day, you're gonna look in the mirror and you're gonna just see that makeup, how it's moved and cracked with every little facial expression that you make. So the lighter, the better when we are dealing with texture. Now you can work with full coverage foundations, just use very little, you know what I'm saying? Just, you really need to control how much you use if you don't have an option and you're working with a product that is heavier. All right, let's clean off our hands so that this makeup doesn't end up all over my outfit. Okay, let's go in with concealer. I have really been enjoying this product from NARS. This is the Light Reflecting Eye Brightener in the shade Golden Eye. Now these can be used on top of concealer, under concealer. I actually just have been using them as my concealer, and I just use my finger to apply it, you guys. I just go right here in the inner corner and I'm just gonna spread that product underneath. And then once I've spread it to kind of, have like that coverage of product all underneath mine, then I'll use my finger to pat it. I'm a big fan of the NARS Light Reflecting collection. I love that foundation. When that first launched, I was kind of obsessed, and that's all I could use or talk about. That's a beautiful foundation. I love the powders, so I was really excited to see these at the Sephora counter. Pop this underneath the eye. So my girls like to go Sephora shopping with me. They've gotten really into skincare. If you have young daughters, are yours into skincare too? I think it's like this like trend now. I mean, I wasn't into skincare when I was young, but my kids definitely are, which, you know, I have no problem with that. If they want to start taking care of their skin early, that's great. And, you know, we try and look for kind of obviously really gentle products for their skin. They don't need much. I really just direct them towards like moisturizers, SPFs, little like fun facial masks. But anyway, I took Kate into the Sephora store the other day, and I always give them, you know, a little budget, and then they spend some of their own money as well on product. Like Brooklyn wanted some Drunk Elephant, and I was like, girlfriend, you got to pitch in for that if you want it. I was like, I was not buying skincare like this when I was 11. So she works, you know, she does little things to kind of earn some money. I helped her a little bit, but she bought her own Drunk Elephant oil, and she loves it. So it's kind of like her little routine at night. But anyway, the point of my story is I went in last time and I had some points to redeem, you know, because I'm part of the Beauty Insider program, which if you're not familiar, which I'm sure most of you are, but it is a free program. There's no cost to join. And basically you accumulate points as you shop through the Sephora. And then you can redeem those points for like product. You have access to early events, shopping events, and another perk is that when you accumulate a certain amount, you can get $10 off of your purchase. So I went in last time and I had that. So Kate was real excited that I got to knock off $10 off of her little purchase. Okay, this brow pencil, let's talk about this. This is the Makeup Forever Aqua Resist Brow Filler. I got the shade Deep Blonde, which is interesting because this is, I would classify this as more than a deep blonde, more of a brown. I love this brow pencil. This is so, so good. It is kind of like a waxy, larger pencil formula. Before this, I was really loving the Charlotte Tilbury one. I still love that one, but for some reason, I don't know what it is about this one, but I actually like this one a little bit better. I don't know what it is. I love it. It's a good formula, good amount of pigment, so you can really fill in your brow and get good shape. And the formula itself will kind of lay down the hair a little bit because it's waxy. I've been on a little Makeup Forever kick lately. I've purchased a few of their products and really been enjoying their Aqua Resist line. Is good for the summer because they're waterproof and they just stay all day long. Perfect. Okay. Next, we are gonna go in and set everything. I definitely wanna set this foundation. It's like 105 degrees today, so we're gonna go in and set with the Huda Beauty baking powder, Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. And I got the shade Banana Bread, and I'm really excited to try this. I've heard a lot of great things about this product. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you open it. There's quite a bit of powder already available to me outside. It's not like some powders where there's maybe a plastic covering and you have to kind of shake the powder out. There's quite a bit out here. So I'm gonna be really careful when I go to apply this. I'm gonna use a small powder brush, and it's kind of inevitable. You really get a lot of powder on your brush when you first pick it up. So I'm gonna use the lid to kind of get some of that off. You know, I don't like to tap my brush on hard things because I don't want it to dent. Okay, so now that I've got a lot of that powder off, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna just start in the center of the face and underneath the eyes to set that. Ooh, this is nice. Okay, so underneath the eyes, I'm just gonna kind of use a pressing motion just to pat that powder in place. If you're working with blurring powders with this, which this one appears to be blurring my pores some, patting like this, you're gonna get a better result than if you sweep. Also, if you're working with really glowy foundations, and I would classify this one as a pretty radiant foundation. If you're working with really glowy foundations, if you sweep, you are likely to kind of move that product. So I would advise against doing that and really just kind of take your time to press your brush on the skin to set. Once you've set everything, then you can kind of sweep in larger motions if you like that, but pressing, you're gonna get the best setting effect. That's really nice. It's nice brightening, but it's kind of subtle for my skin tone. I wanted some brightening, but I didn't want it to be too white. Next, we're gonna go and warm up the skin. We're using the NARS powder bronzer in the shade Laguna. I'm choosing to use a powder bronzer today. Even though I love cream bronzers and I do think you can wear cream in the summer, I really like to kind of balance out the formulas that I use in the summertime. So since I used more of a radiant foundation, I kind of want to stick with a matte bronzer. I am gonna go in with a cream blush, but I'm gonna set that also with the powder. You just can't go wrong with this bronzer. You know how there are some products that just stand the test of time? You know, they are like viral products at one point and then years and years go by and all these other products come out, but you still kind of go back to that one. That's what I would describe this product as being. And I'm just gonna kind of sweep it along my hairline. This is a really warm bronzer. So it's nice if you are in a pinch and you don't want to go in with blush, or maybe you're traveling, you don't want to pack a lot of excess products. This would be one of those bronzers that I would say you could kind of sweep over into the cheek area and you don't really have a need for an additional blush product. I'm going to kind of sweep it across my face just to go with this like golden glow all over, and then I'm going to sweep some on my neck because why not? We are getting ready to go to Mexico soon. I'm excited about it. It's a really quick trip. There's direct flights from Austin to Cancun that are like 2.5 hours long. So it's so easy to get down there. We're just going down there for a couple of nights, not much time at all, but just enough. That's all I can do really if I'm going to a resort and I'm just hanging out. I don't really have much of an agenda except laying by the pool and eating all day. I just give me 2.5 days of that and then bring me back home. Okay, for blush, we're going in with the Makeup by Mario new blush. These are the Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil, and this is the shade Barely Blushing. And what I like about these is that you can use these over powder. I've already set the entire face with powder, but I can apply this on top of it. And I like them because they're very easy to work with. You know, you can really get a sheer color from this, or you can get a lot of color. It's kind of hard to mess it up, honestly. So I'm just gonna place that right on the cheek, kind of sweep it up. Okay, and since I am gonna layer a powder blush on top of this, I'm gonna just kind of leave it right there. You can see the color, but it's not too much. I'm gonna go in and set on top of this with one of my favorites. This is another product that has like stood the test of time. The Laura Mercier matte blushes are so beautiful. The shade Chai is one of my favorites. The shade Fresco is as well, but I think Fresco has a little bit of shimmer if I remember correctly. Ginger is a beautiful, beautiful, warm, peachy apricot color. This also is one of those colors that's a blush, but you could use it kind of as a bronzer as well. And I'm just gonna kind of softly set that cream blush. I'm being really light-handed with this, and I'm just gonna do a little. I might touch this up later today, depending how my makeup looks when I'm getting ready to leave for my event, but that's all I wanna do. I just kinda wanna set and lock in that cream blush. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and move on to eyes. And I'm really excited. I picked up the Laura Mercier Matte Cream Shadow Stick. This is the shade Caramel. And I am gonna love this shade, I can already tell you. I swatched it at the store, and it's just a really beautiful matte neutral. It kind of reminds me of like a, what does this look like? It's like a soft, warm, matte, medium brown tone shade. But it's not orangey, you know, it's not too warm where it's real peachy or orange. And I'm gonna just put this all over my lid. This is gonna kind of work as my eye primer today. If I didn't have an event tonight, this would just probably be my eyeshadow for the day. I would just leave it, blend out with my finger, and be good to go. But because we have an event and we are actually hosting a group of people, I wanna, you know, just look a little extra tonight. So I'm gonna layer this all over my lid. I'm just gonna kind of sketch it in. All right, and then I am gonna use my finger to shear out the crease a little bit and kind of pull that crease up. Because I'm using it as a primer, I don't need to layer it too much. So I'm gonna go in with this shade right here from the Master Mattes palette from Makeup by Mario. And we're just gonna kind of sweep this into the crease a little bit. Give a little bit of a natural looking contour and definition there. I just realized I forgot to put brow gel in. That's another reason why I love this pencil, that Makeup Forever brow pencil, because I don't even feel like I need it. Like I don't feel like I need it like I do with other brow pencils. Next, I'm gonna go in with this little quad from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Golden Goddess. And I'm just gonna take this shade right here, which is a really gorgeous kind of olivey bronze topper, and I'm just gonna use my finger, and we're gonna just kind of press this in the center of the lid and then blend out the edges. Oh, this color is stunning. It looks like liquid when you apply it on the eyes. Isn't that pretty? So beautiful. Oh, so pretty. It's just like, it looks wet. The eye looks wet. but you're using products that will actually stay and last all day. It almost looks like a glossy eye. You guys notice my nails? I see them in the mirror. I added chrome this time to my manicure and I love it. It's just a really pretty, subtle, but eye-catching effect. Kind of reminds me of the eyes. Oh, you know what? Let's actually go back to brows because I do not want to forget this step. I'm gonna go in with the Glossier Boy Brow and I picked up the shade Brown. This is one of those products that is like a favorite. If you are new to Glossier, this was actually the first product that I started with. It's a brow gel and it has a nice little tiny brush wand, so you have a lot of control over the brows. And I'm just gonna kind of softly comb into really the bulk of my brow right here, just to add a little bit of volume and kind of fan those brow hairs up a tiny bit. Perfect. It's nice. This has a good amount of pigment, so this is one of those brow gels that you could really use by itself if you want a really natural, soft looking brow. You're obviously not gonna get the definition that I have now because I use that brow pencil, but on the days where you wanna have like a no makeup look, or if you're doing a beach vacation this summer, this would be the product I would pack when I am not needing a lot of makeup. I'd probably throw this, a tinted SPF moisturizer in my bag, and maybe a little bit of bronzer, and then that would be all the makeup that I wore to the beach. This would be one of them though. Okay, so I'm gonna line my upper lash line with the Charlotte Tilbury Super Nudes Liner Duo, and this is the deeper shade. I've got the shade that's like a deep chocolate brown with an inner rim brightener. Okay, so let's go ahead and line the upper lash line. I just sharpened my pencil. I'm gonna start in the outer half of my lash line, and we're gonna kind of just pull and work our way out. This color is really, really rich and deep. A really great substitute for black. I don't really wear black much. I mean, sometimes you'll catch me applying black liner on myself, but day to day, I really like to use bronze or brown pencils. It's just a little softer look for me. So I am going to line that outer half. I'm gonna make the very edge a little thicker, and I'm actually gonna take a shadow to kind of soften and set this. That's another little tip for summer makeup. Always set like a creamy kohl pencil with the eyeshadow powder, because one, it's gonna enhance it a little bit, but it's also gonna just set it in place. I'm using a little tiny brush. I'm just taking the tip and I'm just gonna kind of run it right over that liner. For the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with my favorite Charlotte Tilbury product ever. This is the color Chameleon and Amber Haze. There's a good chance that you may have purchased this because of my videos, because I love this product and I rave about it all the time. It is such a beautiful color, and I'm gonna take it from the outer corner pretty much all the way over. I'm not taking it all the way to the inner corner, but it appears that way. It's so pretty. It's the just most beautiful amber shade. I am gonna set this with a little bit of shadow, but I wanna use that bronzy shadow because I don't wanna lose that shimmer that you're getting. So I'm gonna use the same color that I used on my lid, and we're just gonna kind of softly run that over. This is a really pretty palette for a sultry, bronzy look. So we're gonna go in and curl the lashes. I'm using this Grande Lash Lift. This is a heated lash curler. Super simple to use. You just press the button, and when you first turn it on, you get a light green, which is kind of a lower heat setting, and then you can press it again, and when it goes deep green, that's a deeper heat setting. The tip is red. It's hard to see here, but the tip is red. Once that tip turns white, it's ready to use. So we're gonna give that a minute to heat up. Okay, now it's ready to go, and you can use this two ways. You can use it on bare lashes, which is what I'm gonna do today, or you can use it after you've applied mascara. After you apply mascara and use it, you're gonna get a bit more dramatic results because there's that mascara there that kind of molds it and holds it in place. But I have noticed if you don't let the mascara completely dry and you go in with this will kind of warm up the mascara a bit, and it will, if the lashes are real separated, it might kind of clump them together a bit. So my recommendation, either to use it on clean lashes before mascara, or wait till your mascara is completely dry and then go in with it. But it heats and lifts the lash. And honestly, it kind of feels like a nice little treat, that warmth. All right, now let's go in, let's turn this guy off. And by the way, it's rechargeable, so you don't have to worry about batteries. You just have a little cord and you charge it. I'm gonna go in and prep my lashes by using a little of the Dior Lash Primer. And I'm gonna do one eye at a time. That's my new little mascara tip. When you're using lash primer, I get better results if the primer is still wet when I apply my mascara. I'm gonna go in with the Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes. I'm all about Charlotte Tilbury lately these days. Okay, so we're gonna go in with this and kind of wiggle it at the base, pull up. Ooh, I've got quite a bit there. Let me actually take a clean wand right here and kind of comb through that. So for lips, I'm gonna go in with a brand new lip pencil. I don't know if there's anything better than a brand new lip pencil or a brand new mascara. This is the Pillow Talk Medium 2. I love this shade. I actually own this product and have one in my purse. I have one at home. I have one here at the studio. So it's the shade up from the original Pillow Talk, and I just love the color that it gives to my lips. So I did overextend slightly to give myself a little more volume. Going in with the new Airbrush Flawless Lip Blur, and I have the shade Pillow Talk Medium. These are really beautiful for a pillowy, blurry, kind of smooth lip. I find that these are a little bit lighter than they look. They look a little darker in the tube to me than they actually go onto the lip. I actually kind of just like to layer it on my bottom lip, maybe back and forth a time or two, and then just press it on my upper. Yeah, I might not even actually apply it on my upper lip. I like to keep it very lightweight. It just has a really beautiful kind of velvety, pillowy feel on the lips. And the last tip I'm gonna do is set everything. And I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray, Flawless Setting Spray. This is a brand new bottle I got last night at my event. This is one of the best lock it in place setting sprays that I use. This is a brand new bottle, so give me a few pumps. There we go. Lock that makeup into place so that you last all day. I hear from a few of you don't like using setting sprays because you don't like the feeling of having something wet on your makeup. One little trick that you can do is after you have sprayed it and set it, just take like a large powder brush. I'm actually gonna take the one that I used for bronzer, but I'm gonna kind of remove some of that product and just bounce it. This is kind of setting that setting spray so that it sets into your skin a little bit quicker so that feeling dissipates. Perfect, and you're done. So this is the finished look. I love the way that it came out. It's neutral. I actually have a couple of different options to wear tonight. I'm not sure what I'm wearing, but I know that this will go with either of the options that I wear. I'm sure I will touch up tonight. I might add a little more depth in the outer corner or crease. I might pop some false lashes on to just make it a bit more evening, but other than that, I think it looks great for my event tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll have all the products that I use listed and linked in the description box for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.